So hello, and thank you everyone for your time and your interest today. Let me take you to the wonderful world of advertising. And I'm sure if I tell you wonderful world, everybody hates advertising. I mean, we find it intrusive. They try to sell you stuff that we don't need. We have ad blockers here and there. But in fact, when we started, it was a very simple vision. How, if we can turn advertising into information? And this information would help our local economy to communicate better and in a more efficient way with its target audience or with the people that were interested by what we have to offer as a small business. So it's a different perspective than just trying to track you, harass you, but it's really bringing more impact to what is absolutely crucial for every business and for every startup here, which is distribution. And digital distribution has a lot of promises that we are following today. So when we started, we had many challenges. It was 2019 to 2020, and at that time, AI was not accessible as it is today. So we had to first start with simplifying a very complex distribution system. Who has ever run advertising here in the audience? So we have so many of you. So I believe you've been to those dashboard ad managers, starting from Google, which is designed by engineers for engineers, so nobody understands what's happening in there, or on Meta, on LinkedIn, and you spend money, and your money goes, you don't know where, in a black box, and you have a hard time understanding the different output or the results. So we started by simplifying and unifying all those different languages between the different platforms and making it accessible so you have one dashboard where you can just run in a very easy and efficient way your ad campaigns. That was the first part of the challenge, but of course we also had to optimize small ad budgets. And for that, we had to build our own algorithms to make sure that the amount of budget that was spent throughout all these multi-channels was spent in an efficient way. So that was the second part of the challenge that we have finally made it happen. And then the third challenge, which is still today a very heavy pain point, is making our users love the product. Because when users are coming on the platform, they do put their ad budget and they want immediate effect. So they immediately want to sell something, they immediately want to have an appointment, they immediately want everybody to know that you exist. And it's much more complex than that. Advertising is a real science. There's a lot of data science behind it. There's a lot of AI behind it. There are lots of metrics, parameters that you have to master in order to really have an ad campaign run efficiently. And in that journey, you also have to have a user experience that is as easy as possible. If not, you're going to lose into the journey your users. And the fourth challenge for us is growing in a very tiny market. Switzerland is really, really a small market. We are not as advanced as we think into digitization. And I will tell you more about our journey where we have made it some tested outside Switzerland. So these are the four challenges that we had to face or that we are facing currently. So as I said, the first step was to really make it, to completely streamline the process of running an ad campaign. So today, the publication of an ad on those multiple platforms without the need to know anything about advertising. And today you can come, whether you are a restaurant owner, a baker, or anyone that needs to really reach the audience, you can come. And I will show you, that will be the next slide, you can start running your ad campaign. So no need to understand all the complex systems on which you're going to run your ads. Second part, and this is where really our system has made a giant leapfrog, it's with GenAI. Because we have noticed that when you have, okay, we have streamlined the process, but when people were coming on the platform, they had to write their message. They had to put the right image. You know that content is king, as we say. And most of the time, people are scared because what am I going to say? I mean, I'm going to have my image broadcast outside, and I'm not sure about what to say. So we found out in the user journey that 70% of people coming on the platform were dropping at the time they had to write their message or to put some ad content online. And this was really a pain point for us because, and that's where I asked Robert, it was 3 years from now, we did the first innovation coaching, and I asked him, I said, Robert, if I am a baker in Napoli, I'm not going to communicate the same way as if I'm a baker in Lausanne, for instance. And I don't know how to communicate. I have no clue. So we started looking at how we could already implement AI 3 years ago, and it was too early, too complex, too expensive, and that will take us somewhere where we could not go. But thanks to GenAI, today I'll show you what we have achieved. So as you can see, simple input, you just put your website, and from there, the system generates your strategy, where you have to go, generates the content, and then will also define which budget you have to spend to reach your target audience. So it's easier than that, it's not possible, but it's not enough. And that's where our innovation journey continues, because it's a very competitive market. And the vision we had initially can now come to a reality thanks to the access to all these AI tools. And it's not just implementing existing AI models. We want to develop our own and fine-tune our own LLM with our patent that is pending right now, and it's a self-learning advertisement generating model. What does that mean? That means that once that your ad is broadcast, it will start its journey. It will reinvent itself. It will learn. It will improve. And I'm going to go on the next slide to show you a little bit more about that. So the fundamental research part is starting now, thanks to InnoSuisse, and we are working on InnoSuisse Check, which is to work on this dynamic and contextual ad generation with AI. So let me show you what we're talking about. Today, when you generate an ad, like this one, let's say it's a shop that wants to sell sports shoes. The ad is generated, it is broadcast on all the different channels that are relevant for this topic, and then you have aggregated statistics, you understand what's happening into the different platforms at one glance. So that's currently where we stay. But the thing is that in that system, how does it work? You have to give the right parameters to the different ad platforms to make sure that they will deliver in accordance of what you have as an expectation. So you will have, the challenge was to make sure that when you give the information to the other platform, you give the right information, simply said. Now, AI systems do not understand the context. AI systems do replicate, they have a certain logic, but they don't understand the context. Go on ChatGPT and ask, say, I'm a Swiss company, I want to make an advertising for that or that topic. You will have mountains and a Swiss flag behind every type of product you want to broadcast. So how can we make advertising more relevant? And that's where the dynamic feedback loop comes into the game. That means that in the content generation, once your ad is generated, it will be broadcast on a different channel, and thanks to this feedback loop with external data, so interaction with the ad, how the customer or the target audience eventually interacts, but also how all this dynamic context has an influence. Let's say, is it raining? Let's say there's a virus coming and we need to change our advertisement. Every dynamic aspect in the environment in which you are advertising may have an influence. And that's where the system today, those AI systems, cannot be as precise as in a dynamic context. And this is a world premiere. Maybe Robert will tell more about that. It does not exist, and we truly believe that if we want to achieve the goal that we have, is to talk locally to a local audience, we need to bring those local elements into the loop, so that we will amplify further the impact of the ad. But what is also a world premiere is that the self-learning advertising. That means that the ad is all the time learning and generating a more relevant, more precise advertising, so that every time it goes out with this feedback, it will improve or adapt. So we are the sneaker company. There's a bright sun, it's the summer, we want to promote our new collection. But unfortunately, in the 2 coming weeks, there are going to be storms and terrible weather. The system understands that, gets the data, and generates a new ad for rain boots. And then from there, it will optimize the results. And in that sense, we're completely shifting the way we have thought advertising until today. Because an ad that is self-learning and generating the right message will reach its target audience without tracking, without the necessity of trying to extensively use the data of the target audience. So the AI will also optimize the results of the ad campaign. So we are super excited, and all the work we've done until today help us go very fast in the coming phase of research and development. So we look very much forward of what's coming next. InnoSuisse will definitely be a big plus for us, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Leila, for the presentation.